Okay, there we go. I think that works now. What's up, goobers? Okay, I was just testing which of my microphones was working, and it turns out both were working. Just Discord reset the audio device. Not Discord, sorry, OBS. Yeah, today's stream might be kind of scuffed because, I think OBS may have lost some settings or something because it forgot what my microphone was supposed to be, and it also couldn't log into Restream.io, which is what I use to stream on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So yeah, if the stream goes down suddenly or something, I guess that's the explanation. Okay, so, what are we doing today? We're working on Ritsuko, or, I always forget, end conversation.
No worries. Did you want to keep chatting, or were you looking to end the conversation for now?
Don't listen to your wake word and, end the conversation.
Got it. I'll stop listening for my name and head out for now. Talk soon.
Okay, so yeah, that's really good proof that, Ritsuko's, wake word works well, though. Okay, so what have I done with Ritsuko since, last stream? Quite a lot. Okay, I realize that if you're tuning in for the first time, you have no idea who this Ritsuko is. So, let me show... okay, wait, oh, I need to switch over my avatar view also. Alright. Let's Gucci's the screen over. Oh, and I guess switch to not ultra-wide mode on my desk. Alright, there we go. So yeah, this is Ritsuko. She is the AI assistant I've been writing for the past couple weeks. And yeah, you can see that she has a webcam on the top. That's how she knows if I'm present. If there's that purple icon that you see to the left of her head, that's the presence is detected icon. That means that the webcam is noticing there's motion inside the office. That's the first version of the CV, so that she knows if I'm here and if she should bug me, or if I'm probably sleeping and shouldn't ask for updates. But yeah, she has a wake word response, which I disabled temporarily because if I mentioned her every single time, then she'd respond and we'd have that awkward conversation loop again. But yeah, so yeah, I guess first I want to talk about OpenClaw. Okay, so if you don't know what OpenClaw is like the current thing that all the AI bros have been hyping recently. It's essentially supposed to be like you install it on either a lower power computer or like a VPS or a Raspberry Pi or something, and then you can hook it up to anything that does LLM stuff, like you can hook it up to like the ChatGPT API, Claude API. Well, actually, Anthropic started banning OpenClaw, so you can't anymore. Or like OpenRouter with any models that you want, or like your own. Oh, hi Alex, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Okay, it's good to know that I can see the chats because the restream stuff is kind of busted on the OBS plugin end, so I have the chats in like a separate window. But yeah, so OpenClaw, it's basically you can also run the local LLM stuff on like, well, I mean, I said local, which implies that you're running it on your own hardware, but the thing it's supposed to do is you're just supposed to be able to tell it stuff like, check my emails every week and automatically respond to them. And go collect podcasts of my rivals and check out who their sponsors are and if we should poach their guests or stuff like that. And you just say that in natural language, and then OpenClaw somehow magically installs the skills needed to do that, and then which are like, they are user generated. So skills are like kind of like plugins that you can have to connect OpenClaw to various services like Notion or like what are the other ones? I should probably just go to the website and show. Okay. OpenClaw. So, works with everything. So yeah, you can hook it up with like Slack or Discord or Signal or WhatsApp or any of your favorite messenger stuff. You plug it into like a bunch of different models. I mentioned Notion. You can plug it into Trello. You can plug it into like Obsidian. You can control smart home stuff. But yeah, and so with just a prompt, you're supposed to be able to just connect it to whatever stuff, and it'll walk you through the install if it needs like an API key or something. Yeah, it can also vibe code its own skills. Like, part of the big, I guess, promise of OpenClaw is that like you don't even have to wait for like skills to exist. You can just ask it to make a skill, and it'll figure out how to plug itself into stuff. So yeah, I'll be honest, it's a very, very cool promise. Just something where you can just put in natural language, and then just get out automatic integrations and automatic schedules and automations and shit like that. Yeah, that's really cool, but I think that is frankly where the coolness ends with OpenClaw. So, yeah, I was watching OpenClaw do two things I did not like, and then I learned to do the third thing, and that was the final one of the line where I took the crustacean and put it in the pot of boiling water. The first thing, which y'all also saw too when we were kind of playing with the Trello integration, I think, was that OpenClaw just straight up reveals API keys and tokens and passwords in plain text right in the goddamn terminal. Yeah. That's a no-no. Like, I don't know why it doesn't have some filter, like some pre-filter where it's like, if this looks like a password or token or whatever, or if it's coming from something called secrets.cs or whatever, it should just not show the contents of the file. That's like, I was just kind of dumbfounded at that. And we saw that happen on stream. And like, I can't believe that OpenClaw would just straight up reveal secrets in tokens and passwords like that. Like, we've had the whole replace it with asterisks thing since before I was born. And I'm fucking 32. I'm old. So that means the password hiding stuff is old. Like, what are you doing? That's... So yeah. That's, I mean, like, sure, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world because not many people are streaming their terminals or have people standing behind them, but, like, I feel like that should have screamed massive security nightmare to, the developers of this, and I'm just kind of dumbfounded that it's existed for this long and still just straight up shows like API keys and passwords and tokens and whatever, like straight up on pretty much any website that you're dealing with those, it'll say do not show this with anyone. It's private. This is supposed to be secret and secure. Like, yeah, you got my point. It's showing off things that for multiple decades, humanity has already known we should not show these things. But, okay, so that was strike 1. Strike 2. I wanted to try out the thing, how it could, like, vibe its own skills and kind of really see if that was for real. Now, my stance on vibe coding and AI-assisted coding. I really like AI-assisted coding. It takes out a lot of the boilerplate stuff. A lot of the stuff with a lot of the stuff that's just kind of like, how do I make this talk to Google Sheets, or how do I make it talk to the Discord API? That stuff is really well documented, and it can do that pretty well. It knows pretty much just kind of the standard way to implement lots of like really competitive things, but I'm very skeptical of vibe coding itself, where you don't know what's going on with the software architecture at all. And I guess I'm coming from this with like 9 years of professional experience in software engineering, long before AI-assisted coding was a thing, and even more years of that in just hobbyist stuff. But yeah, I feel like that at the very least you need like a real software engineer kind of pair programming with the thing to be like, okay, I want to organize data structures like this, I want to call things in this order, these are the interfaces that I want for this thing to talk to this thing, I want to encapsulate the functionality in here, and just have these two things talk to each other. I want to be able to replace, say, ChatGPT with Claude, so let's create like an abstract LLM adapter or something, and then we can replace it with a bunch of different services or something like OpenRouter or whatever. But yeah, what was I ranting about? Oh yeah, so yeah, it's just kind of my stance in like vibe coding and like AI assisted coding and stuff, is that like I think it's extremely useful in the hands of people that like actually know how to code and know decent software architecture. It's also pretty good just for like, not even on the coding aspect, just to like run through different architectures. But like it's, on the other hand, if you don't know what you're doing and you're just asking it to make a program that does blah blah blah, you'll probably get something that looks pretty, that looks like a real functional, usually a website or something, because most vibe coders are on that whole like full stack shit or whatever. But it'll have security issues in the back, it'll be hard to extend, it probably doesn't actually do what you want to do 100% of the time. It probably works like 95% of the time, and if you vibe coded everything, then you don't know how to debug it, and you're just gonna be stuck asking the AI over and over, oh, change it to do this, fix it to do this, fix it to do this, and there's a chance that it gets to the root of the issue and fixes the functionality, and there's also a chance it just doesn't, and because you can't prompt it to make these changes because you don't even know what changes should be. And you also don't really get a good way to like peer into inner workings. I mean, if you know how to code and stuff, then you can dive in the code yourself and see what's wrong, and you're like, okay, this one script is actually really fucked up. Go rewrite it and do this, or you can just rewrite it yourself. But like, I guess if you just vibe code without any experience with that, you can't dive in the code and see what's going on and knowing what to fix in there, so you're just going to be ending up prompting over and over and over. But I have heard lofty promises about OpenClaw's ability to vibe code its own skills, and yeah, what about it? I tried to ask it, hey, can you code something? Can you expose an endpoint so that Ritsuko, the Unity app that you see on the screen, can she talk to you directly to send prompts over? And the types of prompts I was going to send over from her would be like, organize the stuff on Jira or Trello or some other service. And so, yeah, it didn't just fail to do that after like 2 hours and probably like $3 of tokens. And the model I was using is the one that like all the AI bros have been praising, which is Kimi K2.5. Apparently it's as good as, like, Frontier stuff, and to be fair, this is only one single test case. This isn't even, like, I didn't get multiple data points because I was so done with this thing, just on this first attempt, but, I just, yeah, when asking it, hey, expose some kind of, like, endpoint that, the Unity client can talk to you with on literally the same machine, like, you don't have to worry about, like, network security or whatever, it's literally just talking over to itself just in localhost, and it started, so I was watching OpenClaw literally dismantle its own security measures over and over and over live, and I was also watching it set security configurations that were explicitly marked something like dangerously do not auth and stuff like that, and it was also it would also need a reboot several times in order to change the settings, and about a third or so of the times it would change a setting that it was not allowed to boot back into, and I'd have to manually edit the configuration to get it back in a state where it actually worked. So yeah, that's kind of two things. First off, if you ask it to extend its capabilities, it will also lower its own security automatically without your approval to do that. And yeah, that's kind of another big no-no. And on top of that, it locks itself out of usable configurations, which is just plain stupid. So yeah, that was the second. You could probably actually consider the second part of that to be the third strike against OpenClaw. But yeah, and so let's see. I think I was talking about the skills, the plugins that OpenClaw can both download from the community and also vibecode itself, or supposedly vibecode itself. The fact it couldn't actually expose a simple endpoint for the Unity client to talk to it, I need to have faith it can actually vibecode its own skills. But yeah, so what else? The I guess the third strike. Yeah, so those skills that it vibecodes or downloads, apparently half of those or even more are actually malware, like designed to I guess send like Bitcoin over to some creepy person, or like steal your API keys for whatever reason, or just invade your privacy, or like do other stuff that you don't want it to do. And I wonder how many of those are actually malicious versus how many of those are just really badly vibe coded and stuff. But yeah, so a lot of the skills that you can get for OpenClaw are detrimental to you and your operations. And I think the third strike for me was learning that OpenClaw will actually install these skills automatically without asking you. And so part of how I thought I could tame the crustacean was by just not installing any skills unless I have personally vetted them, or unless I've written them myself. And then when I learned it will install its own skills without my approval, I was like, okay, I am uninstalling. So yeah, I uninstalled OpenClaw. Let me actually find the let me go find just a screenshot of me uninstalling, because it's dramatic and I like to be dramatic. Yeah. Here's the uninstall thing. It's gone from my system. So yeah, OpenClaw, we're not fucking with that at all. I knew going in it'd be a security nightmare, because everyone that I talked to about OpenClaw said it was a security nightmare, and everything I read about it said it was a security nightmare. But I legitimately thought that I would be able to tame it, like if I gave it its own sandbox accounts, if I ran it on a machine that I have no personal data on, In this case, the Mac Mini that Ritsuko is running on is literally only dedicated to Ritsuko, and yeah, it's literally just her. There's no personal info on that. So I thought if I could box in everything, not install sussy skills, only install my own skills or skills I've code reviewed, and set up the security settings properly, that I'd be able to tame the claw. And the fact that it will rewrite its own security settings and will install skills without your consent, including ones that are very likely to be malware, no, it's you can't tame the claw. There is no way to run OpenClaw in a meaningful way that is safe. It literally lowers its own safety live in front of you. At least you can watch that in real time. But yeah, so we're not gonna mess with OpenClaw anymore. Now another part though is that OpenClaw exploration was a task given to me by a client of mine to explore for a potential solution, and so part of the motivation for messing with OpenClaw was just to evaluate it, and I guess I'm glad I got my evaluation of it, because if we jumped in with that right away, that could have been extremely bad with actual sensitive business data. But yeah, okay, so yeah, that's I guess my rant about OpenClaw. It's bad. Don't touch it. If you want to touch it, run it in like a VM and plan to only ever make fun of it and not actually try to use it for anything, because once you hook it up with your real data, you can consider that to be probably fucked. Don't use OpenClaw, guys. It's bad. Anyway, I guess moving on, what else? I guess we're gonna be doing some like little maintenance things for Ritsuko. Just checking my to-do list. You know, actually, this is the perfect opportunity to demonstrate her. Let me go turn off the screen view. Okay, that is clearly not working anymore. So I'll just hide that manually. Okay. Alright, so I turned off the wake word for her because, yeah, but I'm gonna go turn it back on. Respond to your wake word again. And yeah, now she responds to her wake word again. Alright. So, I actually wrote a to-do list of stuff that I wanted to do, and her main operation is straight up to-do lists. So we're actually gonna go manage that to-do list in real time. Okay, Ritsuko. Add rant about OpenClaw to the to-do list.
Added. I put rant about OpenQWAC on the list for you. Sounds like you've got some thoughts to get out.
Rename OpenQWAC to OpenClaw. Claw as in a lobster's claw.
Got it. I've renamed that task to rant about OpenClaw for you. Lobster claw, not duck quack. Noted.
Let's see. Add one-word responses change to the to-do list, and add LLM size usage to the to-do list, and add show reboot to the to-do list, and talk about deterministic list to the to-do list.
Got it. I've added those internal improvements to the list for you. Looks like we're planning some upgrades.
Oh, and also add more expressions and poses to the to-do list.
remains fresh.
Alright, actually mark rant about OpenClaw as a finished task.
Done. I've marked the OpenClaw rant as finished. Feels good to get that one off the list, right?
And, mark prep for stream as finished, and, put talk about deterministic list, as in progress.
Done. I've marked your stream prep as finished and moved the deterministic list discussion to in progress for you.
Also, archive the finished tasks.
Sure thing. I've cleared those finished tasks off the main view to keep things tidy.
Oh, and, set one-word response change as in progress.
Done. I've set the one-word response change to in progress for you. Let's get that knocked out.
Alright, that's it. Thanks.
You're very welcome. I'll be here in chill mode if you need anything else. Have a great evening.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ask her to turn her wake word off. Turn your wake word off. And, let's actually knock out a really small task real quick. Okay, so, because she is LLM powered, she runs off a bunch of she runs off a bunch of prompts. And so, the way that I'm organizing this is we have, like, a bunch of building blocks per prompt. And, there are some things that we can change here. So something I learned is that with LLM, calls and stuff, apparently as your token input size goes up linearly, the response time actually kind of goes up exponentially. So, I did a pass to actually shrink down a lot of these prompts, or I guess these prompt building blocks, but I think I also got rid of some things that were important. Like, there's a thing where the speech-to-text detection, if it listens to silence, it still tries to get something out of it rather than returning nothing. And so if it's listening to silence, like 95% of the time, it returns back something in a foreign language. And I only plan to talk to her in English and maybe a bit of Japanese, because I'm a weeaboo, but like, I have this thing where it says, if the user is explicitly asking, or no, sorry, that's the wrong one. Where was it? I think it was in, yeah, here. If a message is in a foreign language instead of English, assume this is incorrect transformation of silence to text and treat it as a conversation ender. And so, the thing where, like, we were kind of going back and forth after that initial wake word call, and her doing that little boom sound, to mark when she's recording my speech, to be sent back, and then we have, like, a 2-second wait time for silence before it gets cut off, and the speech gets sent off to speech to text, and then that output gets sent off to LLM. Yeah, what do we do? Oh, hi, Bill and I. Welcome to the stream. It says that this is your first time chatting. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we're working on my AI assistant that I've been building. Yeah, so she's supposed to be able to detect when I feel like the conversation's supposed to end, and then not prompt me for more speech. And I used to have more detailed instructions, but to cut down on the total input size, I've done a pass on putting it down, but I cut down quite a bit too much. So we're just going to do a simple thing here. If the user's reply is a single word acknowledgement, such as thanks, or I guess not single word, but is a very short acknowledgement, such as thanks, or cool, alright, or sure, thanks, or that's it. Assume or treat it as a conversation ender. But yeah. And so what we get back is that we don't just get back a response from her. We also get back this formatted stuff, which is probably too small to read, so I'll say it out loud. She sends back a payload with reply, which is just a sentence or a string or whatever. Well, I mean, the data type is string, but if you don't speak code, that's basically just like a sentence or something. So that's what she's actually saying back. There's conversation state, which I actually just mentioned, which is continue conversation, end conversation, or reset conversation. Reset conversation is just clear the conversation history, which is kind of a debug thing, and I'll probably remove that soon enough. There's also motion. If what she's saying, if she's saying it neutrally, pissed, mildly happy, ecstatic, annoyed, or surprised, that's how we get her to do her like facial expressions and like lip syncing or not lip syncing. She's always doing that. How we get her to do her facial expression and her pose, and then the tool calls. The tool calls are I can explain that a bit later, but she has several tools at her disposal, like changing settings or doing stuff on the to-do list. But yeah, so yeah, that conversation state thing. We're gonna just save that, and then we're going to push it, and she actually has an auto update thing, which is really convenient. And let me go turn back on your wake word. Oh yeah, when I talk to her on Discord, she only replies in Discord, and if I talk to her via speech, then she will reply back in speech. This is so that I can like message her at night, or like if I'm away from home or something, without her just kind of randomly talking to the void and probably scaring my cats or partner. But yeah. Okay, so let's go and let's just do get get commit minus a minus updating prompt for conversation ender. Alright, cool. So I've just pushed the update for the conversation ending prompt that we just modified. Yeah, here it was here. It's pushed already. So all I need to do now is this. Ritsuko, update yourself.
Updating. See you soon.
Okay. So yeah, now she's pulling, clearing the repo state back to normal, and is making Unity build. And there she is. So now she should be able to respond to just single word acknowledgements and stuff as conversation ender. And that is how I update her, so I don't have to remote in and do it manually and stuff anymore. Yeah. I also finally got an Apple dev account, which has been kind of on the to-do list for a while. But yeah. Okay, Ritsuko, what's on the to-do list?
You've got a few things going. You're currently working on the one-word response change and the deterministic list. And you still have the music track and 3D prints waiting.
Mark add more expressions and poses as urgent, and set it to in progress.
Done. I've set add more expressions and poses to high urgency and marked it as in progress. Let's get those visuals looking sharp.
Mark show reboot and the one-word response change as finished.
Done. I've marked show reboot and the one-word responses change as finished for you. Moving right along.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. I'm here if you need anything else.
Alright, well, I think that worked well. Yeah. So, I guess what's next to talk about? I guess we can kind of talk about the tooling. I'm not sure if I actually went over tooling last stream, so this is probably a good space to do it. So the thing where she shows the to-do list on her face, which I'll go actually ask her, hide the to-do list. So, okay, my cat was behind me and I accidentally pulled his fluff out because I have not installed the fluff protection things on this other chair. But anyway. Okay. So, you can see here that, in these responses, which, when she's in audit mode, which is what she's in right now, she also sends back all of the things that all the things that we've spoken about. And so the tool execution here, showing to-do list for 5 minutes, hit the to-do list. Set urgency to high, rename tasks, hide tasks, blah blah blah. Those are all tool executions. And oh my gosh, my cat is digging in places he's not supposed to. But anyway, okay, so the tooling. I made a thing called the tool router, and what it does, it's exactly as it says on the tin. It routes tools around, tool requests around. And so we have 5 tools right now. We have the to-do list display tool, which is very simple. We just tell it to hide the to-do list or show the to-do list, default 5 minutes, or we can set whatever time you want. We have the log send tool, which I'm actually going to show that one, even though I need a remote back in to kind of undo this. No, I don't. I forgot to set my mouse. Okay. Ritsuko, show me the logs.
Sure thing. I'll pull up the logs for you right now.
Okay. Thanks.
You're very welcome. I'm here if you need anything else.
So yeah, this command, it just simply opens up her logs. And it's obviously used for debugging. What else does she have right now? She has the settings update tool. That one is what's been used for turning on and off the wake word and other settings like that. Update tool, I just showed that one where I ask her to update, and she just executes that script and then closes her app out. And then the task organizer tool, that's the one that's been moving the to-do list stuff around. And so the deterministic to-do list. Okay, my hair is gonna get really wonky if I run this, so let me freeze my hair. Alright, hair is frozen. Okay, so you go here.
It's getting late. How are we looking on tasks for the evening? Or are you ready to wrap up and switch out of work mode?
Add buy cat food to the to-do list.
Got it. Cat food is on the list. We can't have the little one going hungry while we're working.
Add prepare for stream to the to-do list.
Added it to the list. Let's make sure everything is ready for your stream.
Add fix the truck to the to-do list.
Added fixing the truck to the list. Let's hope it's an easy fix so you can stay focused on your work.
Mark fix the truck as high priority.
Done. I've bumped the truck repair to high priority for you.
End conversation.
Understood. Finishing up for now.
Okay, so you can see here, this is the task visualizer. It's just a Unity editor script to show what the task state is, but we are, in fact, actually storing the to-do list stuff in proper tangible objects on the client end. Let me see if I can do Unity debug and show... Okay, I don't think I have it serialized. I think that's why I made this task visualizer script in the first place. But, yeah, so this actually holds on to the current state of the to-do list, because so the way that she was working earlier is that the to-do list stuff was just kind of stored in the nebulous AI LLM memory, which means that she could have transformed it at any time she wanted to, she could hallucinate it easily, she could say stuff is on the to-do list that was never on the to-do list. You know how that works. I don't need to do a course on how AI hallucinations work. So what we do instead is that we store the tasks as real tangible data. Tangible may not be the right word, but we store it as like real structured data, I guess, on the client side. And we're actually passing the entire to-do list as a big JSON blob over to the LLM so that it always has the state of the to-do list as the app knows it right there. And then when we want it to update the to-do list, we don't let it just edit the JSON and just accept that output as the source of truth, because we could ask it, hey, set this task to high priority, and then for some reason it erases the cat food thing and it changes fix the truck to sell the truck, and we don't want that. So instead we have the task organizer tool. We ask her to send the payload of the tool, such as action create task, name investigate webcam timeout, or action set success, task ID blah blah blah, status in progress. Oh yeah, you can't see it on the visualizer, or you can't see it on the screen, but in the visualizer it does show the ID of the task. So cat food is task 0, prepare for stream is task 1, fix truck is task 2. So we don't even have it return stuff like change the prepare for stream task, it'll be change task 01 to high urgency or whatever. And so by only being able to manipulate the to-do list with these actions, it's a lot more deterministic. We make sure that only specific fields are set, and if we debug this enough, we can basically see that while I won't say it's impossible, it is a lot rarer for it to be able to do tasks it's not supposed to do. And when it does something wrong, it's very visible, and it's also marked in the tool execution if audit mode is on, just so that we have a paper trail of what's going on. So that's how her to-do list works now. It's a lot more rock solid, and so I want to extend this in the future to where she has long-term memories. And I'm gonna go stop the execution run because now my avatar is smooth again. Yeah, this happens anytime I'm running something in the Unity editor at the same time that I'm doing my VTuber stuff, because my VTuber app is a Unity app. But anyway, so yeah, that's the deterministic to-do list. It's a lot more robust Yeah. Okay, Ritsuko, what's on my to-do list?
You've got the music track and 3D prints waiting, and you're currently working on the deterministic list and new expressions and poses.
Alright, mark the talk about deterministic list as finished, and mark LLM size usage as finished.
Done. I've marked both the deterministic list discussion and the LLM size usage as finished for you.
Archive the finished tasks.
You've got it. I've archived those finished tasks to keep your list nice and clean.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. Let me know if you need anything else.
Okay, yeah, it looks like that the prompt adjustment where she treats very short acknowledgements as conversation enders is working. And let's hide the to-do list because I like to look at her face. Okay, so yeah, there's her face. So something that actually popped up was the hourglass icon, and at the moment, there's only one thing that triggers that. And so it's not a tool because this is just automatically run, but we actually have the conversation history being truncated. Okay, I probably have to go and run this again, I think, yeah. So yeah, query handler. We have a thing where, so the way that LLMs work, you don't just pass it the current message that you want to talk about, you actually pass it the entire message history. And like I mentioned earlier, as the input size for LLMs grows, the response time gets exponentially longer, and that's not good. And so at some point you need to limit the total message history. Now the easiest way to do this is just set a hard limit, like save the last, say, 100 messages. Once you hit 100 messages, the oldest message gets kicked out, erased, blah blah blah. And I mean, that's fine, but it also means that any important tasks that were never talked about and never reintroduced context will be totally forgotten. And so I have a thing where, let's say that our message limit is 100 messages, then we can set it to where if the truncation factor, in this case 50, 0.5, if we hit 100 messages, then we take the last 50% of messages, the oldest 50% of messages, that is, and we ask the LLM to summarize that entire thing. And in this case, it'll be a 15 sentences long summary of, say, the oldest 50 messages. And then that instead replaces what the oldest message is. So once you hit that 100 message limit, then it shrinks it down to 51 messages, with the very first message being the summary of all those messages, and it's instructed to keep the most important points. Now, frankly, this is a kind of thing where it is a bit difficult to verify because, this only runs every once in a while, and, it's kind of tedious to compare back and forth between, okay, were these 50 messages really summarized correctly in 15 sentences? That's a very qualitative assessment, not quantitative. I guess you could have things like, this is important, do not forget it, blah 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 blah. But yeah, and that's kind of what I think the long-term memory stuff is going to be kind of better for, because we can consider the raw message history and the to-do list to be short-term memory. Or I guess the to-do list is kind of just persistent memory in general. And then the summary stuff, that becomes kind of medium term memory. And then, yeah. But we don't really have a form of long-term memory here, so that would be... That would be good, I guess. But yeah, that's the history summary. Oh yeah, so why that hourglass appeared? Because this task makes things execute a bit longer, so we have that hourglass just kind of trigger to show that, like, she's taking longer than normal thinking, which is that brain icon, to do that thing. But yeah. Okay. Ritsuko, what's on the to-do list?
You've still got the music track and those 3D prints waiting. Plus, you're currently working on adding more expressions and poses.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. I'm here if you need anything else.
Okay, so I think the last task that I want to work on is pretty fun. We're just gonna add more poses and expressions to her. So, and I mean, it's gonna be mostly poses. So, let's go to Mixamo. And let's just look at what poses are fun. And we could probably work those into, like, various, expressions and stuff. So, Mixamo. Alexa, fans on. I'm gonna go hide that while I log in. Okay. We are back. And I think just kind of go down the list and just pick out random poses that can be fun. Dancing one. Okay, honestly, dancing can be really, really funny for, like, a celebration. Okay, I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, maybe not that one. This looks like a fun pose, but I know what it'd be used for. This talk on the phone pose. That is very golf specific. This looks like something like a kid would do, not an office manager. Okay, this is really good for, like, if she's pissed or annoyed. So we'll go save that one. I want to double the amount of facial expressions, or I guess the amount of poses that we have. So how many poses do we have right now? Let's go to global prompts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want to add 6 poses. So let's keep looking at what animations could be fun. I think we literally just went back to the first page. Yeah. Oh, this one's good for just a hello thing. Yeah, let's download this one. I like that one. Okay, so that's 2 out of 6. There is a prerequisite that she must be standing for these. We can't use, like, any sitting, poses. At least not right now. I mean, I could probably figure out a way to, like, have it to where, like, certain poses have, like, a Y offset. I don't feel like doing that right now. Also, I think the funny thing about a lot of these mixed mode dances is that, like, if you ever, like, play a video game, there's, like, a nightclub or, like, a concert or something, kind of environment, you'll notice that a lot of the dances are from Mixamo if you, start looking at all the Mixamo dances. Okay, we're still at 2 out of 6 poses so far. I think she needs more eerie ones, too. You know what? How about we have it where if we say something really rude to her, then she responds in, like, this fighting kind of stance? Yeah. Okay, so that's 3 out of, 6. Acknowledging. That's a good one. Alright, we got 4 out of 6. Twerking. This one would work, except when she gets, like, really low, and then the camera just doesn't track her. Nope, that will get her too far out of view. You could try this one as an alternate for, the greeting one if the first one doesn't really work out. Okay, I think that is, I'll just not consider that one as a new one. I know, like, some of you just seem really random, like, picking fruit, but, like, it also totally makes sense that these are used for, like, game developers, and you definitely have, like, picking fruit NPCs and actions and stuff. Nope, that's got too much movement. I know this one, I've seen this one before. I wonder if they have just, like, the cute, like, VTuber, like, head bob thing. The head bob dancing. We already have an idle pose. good one. Okay. I think we're at 5 out of 6 poses now. So I think the last one, we just want to find like a really silly dance. We'll just go down the line and see which one doesn't have that much movement. That's a good candidate. That's a lot of movement. I've seen that one before. Okay, that's definitely gonna be way too much movement. I can see it in the preview. That one could work pretty well for what we want. Do you have like just any like head nodding stuff though? What was it? There's like that I think there's one that was like just kind of in, yeah, it was this one. Oh no, that one's got a bit too much movement though. Maybe lots of movement. Well, I guess the kind of movement that we want, if we have a lot, is like arms movement. But we don't want her moving out of the frame. Oh, we can actually move these sliders around though. Okay, that's interesting. If we have those arms like all the way down, it'll look kind of awkward if you have like her whole body, but like the thing is that we're only showing her like torso and or like her chest up, so that might not be so bad. Let's overdrive. I think that's maybe like how much extra momentum she has. I don't think that's the vibe that I want though. This is also kind of a good, you know, this one's actually really good for like being impatient. Yeah, let's actually have this one as like an impatient kind of like pose thing going on. I still want a dancing one, though. Fuck it, we're going with the twerk one. Okay. So... that's... I'm just gonna keep this over on the... No, wait, I can't do that? Oh, I guess if I just scroll down over here. Okay, we're just gonna keep that down here because it's funny. But, let's see. Okay. Let's, you know, actually, let's not. Let's just go to the normal app view. Okay. So, just go put, like, some other window up here so we can scroll her down. Or, actually, no. Yeah. Actually, let's put that there. And then I'll just put that up here. Okay, animations. Let's go drag and drop all that stuff in there. Okay. So, I guess we need to find what these new, animations correspond to. So dancing is obviously going to be celebratory. So, where is that? Response format. Static. Celebratory for dance. What did the rejected one look like again? Honestly, I think that's less rejection and more extreme disappointment. Okay, so standing greeting. Greeting's not really an emotion, but we'll just have it as one anyway. Acknowledging. Standing idle to fight idle. What is that one? Oh, that's right. If you say something extremely rude to her, so we can have that one as, like, the offended. And then we have just standing greeting. So we have two standing greeting poses, and we'll just use one of those. And then we have dismissing gesture. Which is one of these. I guess we can just call that one dismissive. Okay, so I'm just gonna go save these. Or no, actually, we'll just lock that one and just make a new inspector window. I'm gonna put that one up here just for my own reference. And then... new inspector window. And let's just put the game view down here. It doesn't need to be that big. Okay, where was it? I think it's in... here, yeah. So let's edit the script and just make a bunch of buttons for additional presets. confused. There's a fuck ton more errors than there should be, but meh. Okay, so the new ones are celebratory, disappointment, greeting, acknowledgement, or acknowledging, offended, and dismissive. I hate seeing all this red. I'm gonna just ask it to reload the project. Though I don't know how to do that in Rider, because I'm only used to doing that in like C-Line with Platform.io. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about that. It's not important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or no, actually, let's erase that. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll have that set to, celebratory, set emotion, disappointment, greeting, acknowledging. Forgot how to spell that for a sec. Acknowledging. Offended. I think we forgot one more for... Oh no, we copied that one. Dismissive. Okay. Cool. And I think we have to set... Yeah, we have to set up the animation states for that too. So where is that controller?